guys, it's Pure and Ice Cream Bar. I just came from the gym. So I apologize for this disgustingness, but I have to take a shower and I was like, I got some minutes, I'm gonna film a video. So I thought I would do a video on this because, you know, I've been doing the character videos and a couple people kind of asked about this kind of when I did that crossover lemon citrus video, and I have spoken about it very briefly before, so I thought I would just do a video on it so as I continue doing these character videos, it's not confusing and strange, because the character videos themselves will probably be confusing and strange enough. So do all of my characters exist in the same universe? I guess there's two answers to that. The easy answer is no, they don't. One of the things that got me into this hobby and really has made me stay in this hobby is the idea of character building and character development. And even though originally when I first got into this hobby I wanted all of my dolls to be part of the same story, as time has gone on I've been more interested in one thing I was working on than another, or something needed more help than another thing did, so I've often found myself getting dolls that are representations of characters that I am struggling to form a full personality and make them feel like a full person. So some of my dolls are from the same story and some of them are not, but having the physical representation of them I've always found to be helpful, because you can not only figure out, you know, how are they going to sit, how are they going to stand, how are they going to do their hair, how is their face gonna look? What are their clothes that they wear? What kind of shoes would they buy? All that helps inform how a character acts and feels, as well as being able to have these different characters from these different stories interact also helps inform them, because, you know, when you're writing something, you only want to include things that are relevant to the plot, that help move the story along, that are important. And a lot of the interactions that help you figure out a character, at least in my mind, are not always things that are super relevant to the story, not as they develop in the story, but who they are in the beginning and why they take certain actions. So having these characters interact with other characters they wouldn't normally interact with personalities they wouldn't normally come across in situations that are not relevant to their actual story, is all helping me develop who they are and why they do what they do when it comes to what I'm actually writing for them, if that makes sense. But at the end of the day, are most of them from the same story? No, they're not. There is another answer to this question, and that other answer has to do basically with the time I've spent in this hobby. I've always really liked photo stories, and I have like a Word document filled with like 35 pages of photo stories that I want to do one day after I can build all my beautiful sets. But I don't have the money to afford studio space right now, so I haven't been able to work on set building in a really long time. One day I would really love to put those all together, and as I've been building these photo stories and having ideas for sets and having these characters interact with one another, I've really wanted to create more of a crossover world where these characters have kind of a sort of story of their own. So I've formed kind of this crossover world where, you know, some of my characters, their stories are kind of indeterminate in where they take place. Some of them are more fantasy, some of them are this particular Earth planet, and some of them are on this world building project I've been working on for a while, which still doesn't have a name. This planet doesn't have a name. I've been calling it Erebus, but I'm very picky about my names, and I don't think it will keep that name, but been calling it that, and so I'll call it that for ease of speaking to you. So I've kind of schlumped all of their stories, and in this crossover world kind of made an Erebus Earth crossover place, which is tingly and minty fresh. And born out of that world I have Tybalt, who's kind of the anchor, who's kind of like exists from this crossover world. Like, have you ever seen a crossover episode of TV or like a movie or even like in a book series, I don't know, any kind of crossover story? There's always characters that are only from that crossover story, so you have an anchor. So they're like, yes, these two characters should be interacting. That makes perfect sense to me. Hello, I am here. So Tybalt is my anchor. Muno is also kind of an anchor. That's kind of where those characters came from. So I guess the other answer, the longer, more complicated answer is no, but also kind of yes, because I am working on developing this crossover world a little bit more, and I do want them to have a place to interact and to have, make these photo stories. So yeah, that is my answer to that question. I hope that was clear and legible. You're not reading. Coherent. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I don't know, what about you? Do your characters all come from the same story? Do they get kind of picking them from different places? A little picky? Or do you have like all your MSDs are from one story and all your SDs are from another story, and all your life-size human dolls are real humans? Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Oh, I was gonna tell you, I'm starting another character video series soon, which I want to get through kind of quickly because come later in October, I want to start doing Herbert West because that feels very Halloween-y to me. And I have a drink that's sort of Halloween inspired that I think is going to be his cocktail, and I'm very excited about that. And I will talk to all of you soon. Alright guys, bye!